Good night, brothers and sisters. Good night, St. George. I am happy to be here because I never told them this before. And they love to say I come from all over. But my great-grandfather come from this very village. He was a judge, he was an inspector of police. But I never told Jackie that because they like to say I come from all over. My family big. Brothers and sisters, tonight I am going to be brief enough, but I want to remind us all that in this election for the governance of Antigua and Barbuda for the future, that leadership matters. Leadership matters now more than ever. Leadership matters from the very top and everything in between, to the left and to the right. Leadership matters. You know, I love to quote old people. And the old people that I know say, if you fool me once, shame on you. But if you fool me twice, shame on me. And I want to remind us that the Antigua Labour Party of 1976 is the same Antigua Labour Party of 2014. Never mind you hear they change the name. That is a cosmetic change. You know, like some people, when you see them out there, they look like they walk off the cover of magazine. But if you see them when they wake up in the morning, you wonder if it's the same somebody. That is the Antigua Labour Party. They mean to try to fool us by their cosmetic changes. But I am not fooled. I know nobody here is fooled. And those within the hearing of my voice, I want to tell you, do not be fooled. I want to tell you these people about hoodwinking you. They say anything to get anywhere to win this election. But the people of Antigua and Barbuda will not allow it, because leadership matters now more than ever. And I tell you all the time that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And when you look at our leader and you look at the one on the Labour Party side who did everything against the rules on November 25th, 2013 at multi-purpose at their convention, you must be persuaded that leadership matters. I want to remind you all of who Gaston Brown is. You remember the same Gaston Brown who cussed off the Speaker of the House in the last term? I know you haven't forgotten. It's the same Gaston Brown who at Contrapon in the last election said some despicable things about our honorable Prime Minister and political leader. It is the very man who continues to disrespect women. Go and ask Miss Destin what happened at 46 North Street a couple months ago. Because when you come to that individual, he does not bring any leadership skills to the process. And you can say the same for all of them. My brother Mervyn, he told you about his opponent. And I know we remember Linda Brand and her son and that passport scandal that she went to jail 2 years for. And the very individual who is at the center of that scam, that fraud, walking around the streets of St. John's City South, trying to say that he's a leader. He is no leader. And I expect on election night for Mervyn to come through. Brothers and sisters, I want to remind us that if the people of Antigua and Barbuda lose the keys to their brain, the people in the international community and in the regional community will not forgive us, because these are the very same people who took the economy to the precipice. We nearly fall over. And when you recognize there was no global economic crisis when Lester Bird was prime minister, he could not manage the economy. When you compare that to the sure and steady hands that Dr. Errol Court and then Minister Lovell has held this country in, you realize that that is a demonstration of leadership, because leadership matters. Brothers and sisters, the old people also say that if you put a pig in a palace, it's still a pig. In fact, you're going to mash up the palace. And I want to tell you, in a similar vein, that if you put a brute, a despot, a vile and disrespectful person, a vagabond, a dictator, a kleptomaniac, I tell you that is a big word for a thief, in the office of the prime minister, that individual will remain who he is, because his character defines the essence of who he is. And he will cuss anybody like he cussed the speaker, like he cussed the prime minister, like he disrespect women in that office of the prime minister. And he will not only bring shame to himself, he will bring shame and disgrace to the good people of Antigua and Barbuda. I want to tell you that they're walking since last year, putting up all kind of billboard all over the country. I see a Christmas one still up and Easter looking to come. And when you look at that post, I understand that the leader of the opposition is trying to depict himself as a strong father, as a good husband. But I want to tell him, I am not fooled. The people of Antigua and Barbuda are not fooled. The people down in Villan Point are not fooled, especially those in Bay Street. And you know, sometimes when you live in some communities, people know what happened in your house, even though they're outside of the house. I want to tell him that those depictions don't refer to him, because nobody's fool. And I want to tell him further that I know, I believe, I am persuaded that his wife is not fooled. The mothers of all his children, they're not fooled. The women of his past are not fooled. His friends are not fooled. I know his in-laws are not fooled. No one is fooled. Because as I told you, a brute and a despot can't change. Cannot change. We are not fooled by Asset Michael and Lester Bird and Malwin Joseph. We are not fooled by that. And when we go into elections on election day, we must demonstrate how exactly we are not fooled, brothers and sisters. I want to now turn to my sister, Sister Jackie. When you look at Sister Jackie's performance since 2004, the people of St. George must be proud, because Sister Jackie has consistently demonstrated the art of leadership. She has demonstrated the art of caring for her constituents, man, woman, boy, and girl. She has transformed this constituency. And when you look at her opponent, there's no comparison, brothers and sisters. There is no comparison. And when I talk about leadership, people of St. George, do you want to even consider electing a man who the court has said, has found that he is guilty of beating a woman? You cannot want that. What kind of example will that individual set for your children, your young boys and your girls? And we have to reject that. If his own party wants to reject him, why must the people of St. George want to accept him? But I know that on election nights, when the ballots are being called, is 500 and something votes, Jackie beat him by the last time, I am challenging the people of St. George to double that number in the 2014 elections. I want you to send a convincing message to Jackie's opponent that they don't want him. And when last election he could see 500 people walk away, I want him to try this time to say see 1,000 people walk away with his naked eye. So people of St. George, not only do I want you to stand firm for a third term, I want you to stand firm with Sister Jackie Quinley Andrew so that she can continue to represent you in a very progressive and positive way. And as I've said before, on election night, when we are leaving All Saints East and St. Luke on our victory walk, we are going to meet Sister Sean. And I've already told Sister Jackie we're not coming off no main road. So we're not going through Herbert's Road. But I will meet her. I will meet her by Billigins, because she will be coming home again in the 2014 elections. And for the first time in the history of Antigua and Barbuda, you will have three wonderful women who the people would have elected to the House of Representatives, thereby demonstrating that our women mean something, that you value us, that the Prime Minister values us, that nobody beating up nobody, kicking down nobody, busting nobody face in UPP. We don't behave like that because leadership matters. Brothers and sisters, as I take my leave, I want to remind you again to stand firm for a third term. Stand firm for a third term. And come Sunday, when we are going to be leaving that command center and heading to Zone 3, I want to tell you, if you think the last whistle stop was big, if you think that last whistle stop was big, you are yet to experience the wonderful support of the people of All Saints West, of St. Mary's South, of St. Paul, and for the Queen of the Park, All Saints East and St. Luke. I love you all. See you next time. Stand firm for a third term. Love you.